Recursion is one of the most beautiful concepts in programming and also one of the most dangerous because recursive code often looks smaller, cleaner, smarter, but internally it can consume a lot of memory, keep growing the call stack with every function call, and if the recursion goes too deep, it can even crash your entire application with a stack overflow error. So the big question is, should you use recursion or should you just write loops? And more importantly, what do programmers choose in production systems? In this video, we will understand what recursion actually is, how it works internally, and how it compares with iteration, where recursion becomes dangerous, and how experienced programmers decide between the two. Let's start with iteration first. Iteration simply means repeating a block of code using loops. It is very straightforward. The loop starts, the condition is checked, and the code runs repeatedly, and finally the loop stops, right? So it's very simple. Now let's solve a slightly bigger problem. Suppose we want to calculate factorial of 5. Using iteration, we can simply run a loop and calculate the factorial, right? So it's very simple and straightforward. The loop keeps updating the answer, and iteration uses constant memory, right? Why? Because the same variable keep getting reused again and again, and the loop does not create any new memory frames repeatedly. And this becomes extremely important later. Now let's understand recursion. Recursion means a function keeps calling itself to solve smaller and smaller parts of a problem until it reaches a condition where it stops. That's it. And here's the same factorial problem using recursion. Now, if you are a beginner, this code can honestly feel almost magical because the function is somehow calling itself and still producing the correct answer. But internally, something very important is happening. So let's slow down and see exactly what the computer is doing. Suppose we call factorial 5. The function does not immediately calculate the answer. Instead, it says, before I can calculate factorial of 5, I first need factorial of 4. So internally it becomes 5 into factorial of 4. Now factorial 4 says I cannot finish either because I first need factorial of 3. So now we get 4 into this function, the function name factorial, and the argument is 3. Then factorial 3 says 3 into factorial 2. Then factorial 2 says 2 into factorial 1. And finally we reach factorial 1. And this is very important. At this point, the function returns 1. This is called the base condition. And this is the exact point where recursion finally stops going deeper. Until then, the function keeps breaking one big problem into smaller and smaller sub-problems. To calculate factorial 5, it first tries to calculate factorial 4, then factorial 3, then factorial 2, and finally factorial 1. Now, once the base condition returns 1, everything starts resolving backwards. Now, factorial 2 becomes 2, 2 into 1, 2. Then factorial 3 becomes 3 into 2, 6. Factorial 4 becomes 24. And finally, factorial 5 is 120. And that's how recursion finally produces the answer. But now, here's the important part most tutorials completely skip. Every single recursive function call creates a brand new stack frame in memory, which means all the function call, be it factorial 5, factorial 4, etc., all of these calls are sitting inside memory, one on top of another. And that is why recursion can become dangerous, because if recursion goes too deep, the call stack keeps growing, memory usage keeps increasing, and eventually your application can crash with stack overflow error. Internally, the JVM stores every function call inside memory called the call stack. So when recursion happens, the stack keeps growing, and each call stores local variables, parameters, return address, execution state. And this is where recursion becomes dangerous, because stack memory is limited. If recursion becomes too deep, the stack overflows and your application crashes with stack overflow error. right? For example, this code never stops as we have not defined any base condition, or you can say terminating condition, right? And the stack keeps growing forever, and eventually the JVM crashes. This is one of the biggest risk of recursion. Now let's compare recursion and iteration properly. First, readability. Sometimes recursion looks much cleaner, especially for trees, graphs, DFS, backtracking, divide and conquer algorithms. For example, tree traversal using recursion feels very natural because trees themselves are recursive structures. A node contains children and children contain more children. So recursion maps naturally. Now, second, memory usage. Iteration usually wins because loops reuse memory, but recursion creates new stack frames repeatedly. So recursion often consumes more memory. Third is performance. Iteration is usually faster because recursive calls have function call overhead. The JVM has to create stack frames, manage return addresses, maintain execution context. Loops avoid most of that overhead. Fourth is risk. Iteration is generally safer. Recursion can cause stack overflow, deep call chains, right? Debugging complexity, especially with bad base condition, right? And fifth is problem fit. Some problems naturally become easier with recursion. Example, for example, DFS, problem related to tree traversal, quick sort, backtracking, permutations, dynamic programming, right? So, trying to force loops there can actually make code uglier. So, if you try to force loop here, it can make your code very ugly, right? So, what do experienced engineers actually choose? The answer is it depends on the problem, but in production systems, many engineers prefer iteration whenever possible. Why? Because production systems care about stability, memory efficiency, predictable behavior. For example, imagine recursive processing on huge data sets. If recursion depth suddenly becomes very large, your service can crash. And in production systems, unexpected input sizes happen all the time. So that is why many programmers avoid deep recursion in backend systems, especially for huge file processing, massive graph traversal, large scale data processing. Instead, they often use loops, explicit stacks, queues, iterative BFS and DFS, right? Because these approaches give more control. Now, this does not mean recursion is bad. In fact, some algorithms become incredibly elegant with recursion. For example, merge sort. The algorithm literally works by dividing the problem recursively, solving smaller parts, combining results. Recursion makes the logic feel natural. Similarly, DFS, problem related to DFS, tree problems, backtracking, binary tree traversal are often much easier recursively. So recursion is not wrong, blind recursion is wrong, right? So here's the real answer. Iteration is usually faster, safer, memory efficient. Recursion is usually clear, elegant, natural for hierarchical problems. Good engineers don't blindly choose one. They understand memory usage, stack behavior, scalability, readability, input size, production risk, and then choose the right tool for the problem. If this video finally made recursion clear, then hit like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments which do you prefer, recursion or iteration.